recognize this new shift and are accommodating accordingly. Both time, aspect ratio, algorithms, all of this has shifted. And now some of those are still true for some of the high production paid assets, but we're not talking about that today. We're going to focus more on the low production videos because this is the viral content that we are interacting with every day. So why the shift? Why as a global community have we all actively pushed towards this? It's personable, it's authentic, it's honest, and good news for you, good news for me, it's attainable. 5-10 years ago, we were saying video is the future. This is what we looked forward to, but the future is here now. Video isn't what it takes to stand out anymore. People see the value in it, and it is reflected in the fact that 12.5 million people at over 250,000 companies are currently using Vidyard. The value is clear. If you are going to build a brand, you need to be on social, and if you're going to be on social, you need to be using video. What will set you apart is how you use it. So let's dive into some best practices for how to be comfortable on video. Here we go. Share screen. Give me a moment here. Alrighty. There we go. If I have not sold you yet, I am giving you more statistics to really drive this point home. 93% of businesses landed a new customer because of video on social media. This one's my favorite. Half of Gen Z and millennials don't know how they'd get through life without video. A dramatic statistic, definitely. Do I resonate with entirely? 100%. 91% of marketers are satisfied with the ROI of video marketing on social media. The value is clear. I currently am the host of our Vidyard's Behind the Scenes program, where we peel back the curtain on an interview on how they're using video and Vidyard to make more human connections, push deal cycles along, essentially within their business. And I always ask, what were the #1 blockers in you adopting video, either individually or as a team? Every single time, it's getting comfortable on camera. I wasn't comfortable. I didn't feel good about it. So now we're going to run tests so that is not you. Adoption will be easy. First, understand that feeling uncomfortable on video is very common. You are your harshest critic. We do not walk around with mirrors held up to ourselves, left for us to criticize, but video may seem like that. You are judging yourself much more harshly than anyone else. So we'll work to know what you want to say, set aside a little what the messages, plan out your main talking points. There are some great, we discussed a little bit in the roundtables yesterday. There are some great tools as teleprompters. And if you're using a tool such as Vidyard, there is a notes option so that you are able to add your key points and use that as a structure for what it is that you were trying to communicate. What I would know is, please don't script. The reason success, and again, broken record, authenticity, that's the reason these videos are so successful. Follow a script and you're bound by what it is that you've laid out already. Your audience is going to feel that. They're going to feel that lack of authenticity, and you're trying to build trust. That's the purpose of using video, to create that human connection. And oftentimes script can be a hindrance, a great stepping stone for getting comfortable on video, and you're better off to use a script. No video at all. So on to the next. Talk slower than usual. This is a great point probably for me right now. When we are nervous, we have a tendency to speed up and talk really quickly. You want to get your point across quickly, but you do not want to speak quickly. You're going to look like you have a lack of confidence in what it is that you're trying to say, and it's just harder to understand you. Fourth, start with screen share videos. I share a link with you all now. I will be dropping these as we go. It is just in the chat. For a transition to become on video, you can do a screen share where it's just your voice recording, and then once you're feeling a little bit better, you're able to add perhaps a small bubble or like a you in the corner of the screen, kind of like how I am doing it right now. Just good stepping stones. Lastly, don't worry about the little mistakes. I am going to add another link into the chat just so that we have lots of examples to work off of here. Embrace the perfection. Again, if there's a mistake here or there, if you stutter over your words, I'm only human. I want to see that humanizing aspect to you when I'm receiving a video. And mistakes can sometimes make for some of the best videos. I mentioned this yesterday, but it's a great story. There was a gentleman who was prospecting to someone, a CEO at McDonald's, and he really wanted to get a meeting with him. He had recorded his, and partway through, crash outside the window, the entire thing on video, he panics, loses thought entirely, can eventually continues on and sends the video with, even if you take nothing from what I say, you just watch this. And perfection led to and point of contact there. Extreme example, do not recreate that, but stumble over your words. It's okay. We're after that authenticity. If you're looking for more on foolproof tips on how to be more comfortable on video, there is a link on the screen captured there. Tips for creating video with your smartphone or webcam. I want to be able to see you. Of course, we're after that human. You are wanting to interact. Lighting is a key part of this. Audio, I need to be able to hear you. These are the basics. Most computers have all of the fixings that you will need. Stabilization, one of the most popular forms of successful video right now, are what I refer to as walkie-talkie style videos. I will drop an example of this right now into the chat. But essentially, you are just walking through any given area. This one is an example of someone walking through their neighborhood. I did one the other day walking through my garage. It's full of surfboards. It's kind of interesting. You get to see a part of my life while I'm delivering what it is that I want to say to you. But while you're doing those walkie-talkie videos, you do not want to give your audience vertigo. You do not want to have a super. So a stabilizer, any kind of gimbal, is able to have for that purpose. Upgrade. Again, most computers have good enough cameras. If you are working from a desktop, that is hard to, sometimes a little more easy to adjust. And again, specifically for startups, you're investing all this time and energy into your content, able to reuse and recycle it. And in order to do so, you need it to be quality. So if you're going to put the time and effort into it, 1080p, folks. I want high resolution from you. Video creation quick tips. Choose an appropriate recording environment. Some of my coworkers who create a lot of videos on the day-to-day have fun family photos or like personal notes, and it's very true to them. Others like to keep things very clean and simple. I am in my hotel room at Startup Grind, so this is not the ideal background setup, but we're working with what we have today. Great lighting, as mentioned. First touch point, 5 seconds. You want to get that point across quickly. If you are sending me a prospecting video, I will not watch in 2 minutes. We are evolving humans, and as we evolve, our attention span gets shorter and shorter and shorter. So let's keep that in mind until you have set the precedent with me that you create content that is always worth consuming, and then I'll give you the time of day. Sound, of course, we want to be able to hear what you're saying. Keep camera at eye level. A great tip is some people put smiley face sticky notes beside their camera so that it serves as a reminder to look in or after that personal touch and eye contact, even though this, for me, it doesn't feel as personal because it is my camera. Great tip for just, encouraging that personal connection. Capture a nice thumbnail, a nice engaging thumbnail. There are some platforms allow you to use GIFs as thumbnails. Those tend to perform better, a little more engaging, a little bit of variant. Static images that are being flooded news feeds. Do not, it is 2022, do not use a clickbaity thumbnail. Make sure that your thumbnail is relevant because there's nothing worse than clicking a video, excited to watch it, thinking it's tailored to exactly what it is that you want to watch, and then you've been totally led astray. We're trying to build trust, and clickbait is not the way to do that. Project enthusiasm and passion in your voice. Enthusiasm can be infectious, and if your audience knows that you are truly excited about what it is that you are sharing, they're simply going to be more engaged. Be clear at the right pace, maintain your confidence, get creative, and have fun. And I am so excited to dive into that creative element right now, creating different kinds of engaging social video content. We want to create entertainment, inspiration, education. Make sure your video has at least one of those key elements. For example, at Vidyard, it doesn't always be about your product. We are a remote first company, so we do a lot of content around what it's like working remotely, taking advantage of working remote. And I will add a perfect example of what this kind of content might look like. This one always gives me a chuckle. I'm going to drop it in the chat right now. Perfect. You want to, we talked about the attention grabber, no clickbait thumbnails. Value. Get your value proposition, company name out in the first 5 to 10 seconds of your, that goes back to the attention span. Make it known, reveal initially why it is that you're sending the video. That's super important. Make it mobile. We live in a very phone world, and again, platforms are recognizing that. Down by aspect ratios, everything is mobile friendly now, and you need to hop on that. Call to action. If you're using a platform like video, quite literally add the call to action into the video, saying, "Books with me in my calendar." Boom. You're taking that, and they will never be more engaged. They are watching your video. Use that momentum to carry them right to where you want them to go. Types of social videos, explainers, how-tos. They are, if you have a super visual product, this is the perfect to demonstrate that. You can see in this example here, someone giving a walkthrough on the integration between Vidyard and Slack. Very, very user-friendly, great way to do a demo. Promo videos are a great way for brands to raise awareness, increase traffic to the website, lead generation. Always keep in mind those video integrations so that you can really keep track of leads. I'm going to add an example of a phenomenal promotional video in the chat. It is there. That was a recent Gong integration video that was released. The example here is very high production. It does not need to be high production, and the one that I added into the chat is an example of that. But of course, there is space for this. This is another great example of a walkie-talkie style video. You are simply more engaged because the gentleman is on a slide. But thought leadership videos, again, no one knows more about you and what you're doing than you. So establish yourself as a subject matter expert and attract your audience that way. Customer stories, quotes are great, but what better way to spread enthusiasm for what it is that you're doing than having your customer directly to your audience. I would highly recommend testimonial videos. We can at an example of that as well. But I want to get to this because this is the viral, fun content that we're seeing every single day. You can show the lighter side, the lighter tone and voice to your brand by using like this. I'm going to throw in a number of examples. And then we will dive into questions. Videos perform extremely well. I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to show the flavor and flavor of your brand in this regard. Now, that is all because I know we only have minutes left for questions, so I want to dive into these. Wonderful. Okay. Could you speak to the difference between videos for LinkedIn versus Facebook versus Instagram or others? People are posting the same content to different platforms where the audiences are different. It's true, the audiences are different, but your brand is the same for the most part, regardless of what platform you are on. And that's kind of the trend that we've seen. As mentioned initially, we were bound by those constraints of like the taste, but also the aspect ratio and the timing. We are now seeing that transcended success beyond the platform. So some of the best performing LinkedIn material that I've seen is TikTok style videos, which was no one would have thought to do that because LinkedIn was always seen as a very professional platform. But that's some of the most highly engageable content that we're seeing now. How many videos do you recommend posting to boost your brand daily? Consistency is key. It depends on what your brand is, but consistency is so key. I would encourage you to do it once a day. Once a day. Obviously, the more you do, the easier they will come moving forward. But setting that precedent that whoever's following you will continue to and engage with strong content. That's important. Would you load the TikTok style videos as a native LinkedIn video format or as a link somewhere else? No, I would 100%. Naturally, platforms do not want to drive traffic to the website. So LinkedIn, definitely post the video native. The moment that you have a link, the algorithm will tailor to you a little bit less because again, yeah, traffic to other websites. They want to keep you on LinkedIn or whatever the social platform may be.
Hey, Olivia, we've had a ton of questions that have come through the Q&A, so we're going to try and do quick fire if we can. Andre here asks, is there such a thing as building a startup brand too early?
Sorry, say that again, too early?
Yeah, is there such a thing as building a startup brand too early?
My initial reaction would be no. Maybe what it is that you're putting out there is true to you, though. And you are able to take the analytics from the content that you're putting out there, understand how it's being received, and then use those to form your content moving forward. But as long as it's true to you and what it is that you're doing, there'll never be a right time. If you don't do it now, when?
Very true. Now, you, of course, mentioned TikTok. We have Vishal here who asks, where do you seek inspiration for viral videos or memes? You know, again, is the goal for all TikTok videos to go viral, I guess?
Of course, you want that reach, unless it's something embarrassing, but that's not the case today. That is a great question. Personally, I like to draw inspiration from the world around me. I have a notes on my phone, endless ideas of things that I interact with the day to day, a quote book where I'm like, that's funny. How can I use that to trendsetter, but also you want your ear to the ground on all things trending. Think about how algorithms right now, audio is what allows your video to be exposed to more people. So if I'm engaging with the same audio, I think a trend is really funny. Draw inspiration from people around you. That's what we're doing right now. We're looking at other videos that people are doing and going, oh, I really my spin on it. And people enjoy consuming that. And the audio track is an example of how platforms have recognized that and pushed it. I'm interacting with the audio again and again, and you use that. That's sure. Always use in the example of TikToker use audio that's trending, even if it's not for everyone to hear. You can dim it down and add your own. Just a hack.
Yeah, I love that. Chinmay here asking on Chinmay did join. Apologies on mispronouncing your name a little later on, but they asked, what's the ideal length of the video? 2 minutes, is that like the sweet spot for video content to be consumed?
Initially, because our attention spans are so limited and they're only decreasing, everyone said under 60 seconds. And as a rule of thumb, I would say under 60 seconds, but people, especially people with followings, have set the precedent that their content is worth consuming. And that's why platforms have gone, we're talking about TikTok. Initially, you could only do 60 seconds. Now you can do 3 minutes. And initially, they only allowed that feature for people who were verified and had big followings because they had already set that precedent. I would start off with 60 seconds. That would be a great rule of thumb. And then adventure into longer form video after that.
Excellent. Tori here asks, can you give us some key analytics to watch? Viewers or click-through rates? Which are the most important?
Impressions, click-through rates, depends where you're looking at these analytics. Each platform analytics to work with. If you want to use a video hosting platform, you can get, I'll know when you watched a video, I'll know when you stopped watching my video. And to me, that's the most important because I go, all right, and YouTube does a version of this. I know where I lose engagement. I can extrapolate and go, all right, I need to move my CTA earlier, or I need to reconfigure my content so that this isn't the point where everyone seems to be tuning out. See reach as well. Get people to share it. What is the in the comments? What is the overall feedback? There is no analytic not worth watching.
Yeah, very true. Numbers are so important. And with that, folks, we are bang on. Just gone a little over to cover the fact we started a little bit late, but Olivia Cullen, thank you so much for an incredible session. As with all things for everyone, it has been recorded, so the video of this will be available on our Start a Grind YouTube channel a little bit later on. And do look out for Vidyard's kind of offering the digital gift bag. They've got an offer coming out in the email that you'll get for all attendees will get shortly. And there'll be some more information around there on how you can kind of redeem Vidyard's offer. Olivia Cullen, thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Please feel free to connect with me. And if you want to carry on the conversation, again, I love social media, so happy to connect. Thanks for participating. It's been a lot of fun.